So what else can I tell you?
I think that's marvellous.
I did make a few notes whilst I was in bed.
We're going to have to try and reunite you with that woolen bikini, I think. Sorry.
It wasn't a bikini. It was a darned one as well. And it was pink, and my mother had darned it.
Sounds like torture. Yeah?
But you didn't think about it. All I wanted to do was go to the swimming bath.
Very good, Pat, very good.
I was on my granddad's barge, and I was only about 6, and you know what were called barrage balloons. I said to my granddad, I want one, and he said, you can't have one. I said, well, I want one. And he said, Betsy, you can't have one. I said, well, I want one, Grandad. He said, well, you can't have one, you're slipping, you know.
Did you get one?
So,
went to the Plaza Cinema there, and I remember being in the Plaza Cinema when that was hit with a bomb, and all the screen went funny, and we all had to get out and get into the shelter then.
Was nobody injured?
No, not that I know of, no.
Agreed. So the bomb hit the cinema?
It hit somewhere around about the cinema.
Right.
And all the screen and that went, so we all had to get out and get in the shelter, yeah.
Where was the shelter?
Somewhere around about, I can't tell you, I don't know.
What was the film? Can you remember the film?
No.
Did you get your money back?
George Needler. He said, right, he said to me, go with Fred and Tom down there. He said, they'll put you right. I said, right, okay. He said, hey, wait a minute. What do you mean, okay? Don't you mean, okay, sir? Oh, I said, my sir days are over, mister. Don't you mean, sir? I mean, just fought the bloody world to top that kind of thing. Yes.
Thinking back, I would not have missed it. I'm pleased I went through it, because you learnt an awful lot about life during the war, which you didn't know. You started off as a kid, but when you finished, you wasn't a kid anymore.
I wouldn't like to go through it again. No. It's just when you'd sat in that shelter thinking, is it coming down on us or isn't it? I mean, even now, if you hear like a siren on the television, you sort of turn over inside.
Really?
When you hear it.
No, that still affects you now, then?
It still affects you now, yeah, if you hear a siren, yeah.
Well, you see, you had to go careful with your money and things like that. It was the end of the war, and people looking for jobs, and when was started courting, well, they want the furniture really. You had to have coupons for furniture, utility coupons and things, yeah.
And during the war was still on, of course, I used to open the front window of the house, you know, and all the children used to gather round outside, and it was me playing, oh Johnny, oh. It was the happiest time of my life was that when I was playing for the kids. It really was, and they enjoyed it.
There's only the 3 of us at home now. I says, can I go on board? So she says, what's board? What are you talking about? I says, well, I've been talking to some of the ladies at work, she said, and they all buy their own clothes. But she said they all go on board first. So I said, I give you so much of my wages and I keep the rest. So I said, I think I was earning about £4 at the time. I said, if I give you £2 and I keep £2, because that was £1 more than what I was getting, I says, and then I can buy my own clothes. So she said, oh, it sounds all right. She said, we'll try it. And we did do. Anyhow, it turned out all right. She let me have a bit more if I wanted anything. You know, she'd help me pay for it and things like that. But when the lads come home, I said to the lads, are you going on board? Well, they both, what's board? I says, well, I pay board to my mum now. So they had to tell them what it was all about. Oh, and they thought it was a marvellous idea, you know. So, oh, yes, we're going to do that. So Mum said, yes, OK, you can all do it. And now she said, we've been doing it all this time. She says, we've got used to it now. But I thought, well, that was for me, it was the first thing I'd ever done on my own. It felt like growing up, you know, and I joined the growing up class.